making progress already. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, value flow trading. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the market caller for today, the 16th of March, 2026. We're excited to have you all here as usual. And this is CJ and the value flow trading team comprising of Lakon, Cynthia, so sorry about the interruption due to some technical glitch. We apologize for that. But we proceed on the market color. As we're looking off on gold on the daily time frame, we're looking at gold right now with a bearish momentum, and we've been seeing it trading to the downside so far, and we're expecting some pullback later on within the day on gold. So while we're analyzing gold, we should be careful as to where we think gold is going, because we are expecting it to bounce off after some of these retracements happen. And a couple of places we're expecting it to bounce off from. First of all, we have to narrow down to the 4 hours and the 1 hour time frame to see some of those levels. Um, so we've had something that looked like a box pattern on the daily, on the 4 hour time frame and the 1 hour time, a bounce off from. So that is like the first place right here, one of the places we are expecting it to trade to. And then if you look at it on the 1 hour time frame or on the 4 hour time frame, we also notice we have something that looks like a box pattern right here, where this is our left shoulder, this is our sweep, and then we're expecting price to trade all the way down into this level here. So seeing that gold has been bearish since last week into today, we're expecting it to bounce off from here and then trade to the upside. So we're expecting something like this all the way here and then a push back. So this is my expectation for today on gold. If I see any bearishness, I'll be looking forward to taking a sell into this region here and then a buy from here to the upside. Talking about taking a sell, we've seen that gold has gone ahead to sweep the high of the day, and now it is creating some bearish momentum. Right now, I'm looking for a sell entry signature on the 5 minutes time frame for me to take my trade. So I would want to see something like a box pattern here, possibly. So if I see gold reverse all the way here, I'm taking a sell from here to the downside. If not, I would want to see a bearish engulfing or a bearish variation pattern, which is what we call the morning star pattern. If I see any of these three things form here on gold, I'll be taking a sell. And where is target for our sell? The target for our sell is the 1 hour box pattern right here. Okay. So this is where I'm targeting for myself. So right now on 5 minutes time frame, I'm waiting for an entry on gold. And then once that entry show up, I'll be taking my sell on gold all the way to the downside. Okay. So make sure you apply proper risk management when you're looking out for these trades. All right. So let's move into the yen pairs. Let's quickly do so that we can cover up for the time we've lost. Now, in the yen basket, we've seen the yen basket make this sell to the downside, taking off this liquidity and then trading into a new all-time low. Right now, we're expecting some retracement. Possibly, it's going to be a deep retracement, deeper than what it has done so far, because if you look at the range that price has sold so far, we're expecting a retracement to at least this previous level here. Okay. And for that retracement to happen, we're going to be looking forward to sells on the yen pairs. So let's look at the yen pairs, starting off with GBP JPY. Already the sales on the yen pairs are already taking effect based on what we analyze on the yen basket so far. GBP JPY is already selling, and we should be looking for ways to take in good positions on GBP JPY to join the sell and possibly take out these liquidities here before price resumes to buy again. So for GBP JPY, my bias is a sell, and I'm expecting price to sell off to take out this liquidity residing around here. Now let's look out for possible trades that we'll be looking to take today. Now for GBP JPY on the 15 minutes time frame, we have something in form of a box pattern here. Okay, so we'll be expecting GBP JPY to give us a deep retracement. Once you see a retracement in this form, we'll be taking a sell on GBP JPY. So for GBP JPY, I'm looking forward to having a short position somewhere around here. My stop loss is going to be somewhere around 28 pips. And then my take profit, of course, has to be 3 times, but close to this point that we said we want to see a retracement from. So this is our outlook on GBP JPY. I want to see a retracement, and then we'll take in a sell. If I see any retracement, even if it is close to that particular region that I just highlighted, I'll be taking a sell on GBP JPY. So my overall bias on GBP JPY is a sell. If you're already in the sell, then this is like a confirmation to you. If you're not in the sell, wait patiently, and a retracement should play out to any of these levels, either here or this previous low here. Either of these two levels that gives us a retracement will be taking a sell on GBP JPY from there. Okay, now let's run into Euro JPY quickly. All right, so for Euro JPY, I'm expecting pretty much the same thing that I'm looking out for in GBP JPY. But instead, Euro JPY has even sold even furthermore. Same thing on the daily time frame. We're expecting the sell-off to take out some liquidity all the way to the downside. On 4-hour time frame, we're expecting a sell-off. Euro JPY has been selling heavily, and we should be taking advantage of that. Now let's look out for trades we can take today. For Euro JPY personally, I'll just wait to see price retrace into this region here. This is where I'll be looking to take myself on Euro JPY. If you look at it on 5 minutes time frame, you see that that is the low of the Asian session. So we're looking to see Euro JPY retrace into this region. I'll be taking the sell to the downside. So once I see any retracement on Euro JPY, I'll start looking for bearish engulfing patterns or evening star pattern. Either of these two patterns would trigger a sell for me on Euro JPY. Okay. Now, due to the geopolitical tensions that we're experiencing in the past couple of weeks, I usually avoid USD JPY because it becomes very volatile or very reactive at this period. So most likely it's not going to follow what the other yen pairs are doing. So it's either I trade it individually or I just ignore it and focus on these guys who have good correlation and good sentiment backing them up. So I focused on Euro JPY and GBP JPY at this point. So if you notice, we're not taking USD JPY trades. This is the reason. All right. So right now we're going to be looking at trades from Cynthia as she analyzes gold, not gold now, the US dollar and the US dollar pairs. Good morning, Cynthia. Share with us your observation and your analysis on the dollar.
Good morning, CJ. That was such a wonderful analysis from your end. So we'll be looking at what the dollar and other dollar correlated pairs are doing this week. Right. So I'd like to pay my indulgence in a moment to pull up my screen. Kindly take note of every level that is being called out during this market color session so that you don't get to miss trade opportunities when they materialize. All right. So I believe we all can see my screen from our end on YouTube. Kindly share the link with everyone so that this can get to as many people as possible and they can get to partake of all the goodness we have ongoing here. For the XY on the weekly time frame, we've been looking at this point of interest for a period of time. The box pattern residing at 107.130. Something even more interesting, there's another block residing right here. The price should buy all the way into before selling all the way to the downside. And as we can see, this previous high has been taken and we are going to be seeing an upward move of this point moving forward. Coming down to the daily time frame, let's see what price has for us. Of course, we're seeing that the most recent price action seems to be bullish, and I can spot a classic box pattern for the continuation of the buy. The shoulder right here at 97.384 sweep to the downside. We're seeing a break right here. So we want to see price returning into this level, and we will continue the buy on the XY on the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, even more interesting. We're seeing that price is bullish. There's nothing confusing right here. Direction on the XY is bullish. So everything we'll be looking out for are just buy opportunities. On the 15 minutes time frame, let's see where we should possibly be looking out for entries from on the 15 minutes time frame based on classic box pattern. Well, there's nothing materialized here yet for the buy of the XY on the 15 minutes time frame, but we rest assured that once we see that materializing, we're going to call it out in our support group. Coming down to Euro USD, let's see what we have for today. So the weekly time frame right here, we've been looking at it for a very long period of time for price to retrace right back into 1.06629. And as we can see, the low at 1.15704 has been broken. It has been broken. right? Establishing the fact that we should see more push to the downside into our point of interest at 1.06629. On the daily time frame, we're even seeing more spins, right? This low has been taken out, low at 1.15779. The low at 1.15058 has also been taken out, establishing the fact that we are on a bearish move on Euro USD, right? So on the daily time frame, we may see price retracing into this level, 1.180000, before continuing the sell to the downside. However, on the 4-hour time frame, let's see what price is doing. The 4-hour time frame is heavily bearish. We want to see retracement before taking the sell opportunities on Euro USD, as we do not want to be caught selling at discount. Instead, we want to sell at premium, and presently price is at a discount level. So we may be looking out for a retracement before continuing the sell of Euro USD. And where am I interested in selling from? Right, so I want to spot an entry for the sell of Euro USD on the 15-minute time frame. If it is not obvious, it is dubious, right? There's no entry right now for the sell of Euro USD, but bear in mind that our direction for Euro USD for the week is a sell. So anything you're looking out for should be entries for sell opportunities. And of course, our trade calls during the week, we will be looking out actively for sell opportunities so that we can go live and take opportunities in the market. Last on our list being GBP USD weekly time frame. This is where we've been looking at, right? The box pattern right here, 1.24648. And on the daily time frame right here, we've seen that we're even bearish. We're looking, we have no business looking out for buy opportunities, except short term, of course. And on the 4-hour time frame right here, I can actually spot a classic box pattern, shoulder, sweep, break. Once price returns into 1.34138, which is a premium level, I want to sell GBP USD. On the 15 minutes time frame, also, we're seeing more bearishness on GBP USD, right? So we usually would want to take entries from the much lower time frames, and that hasn't even materialized yet. But bear in mind that we're looking out for sell opportunities on GBP USD and Euro USD, and buy opportunities on DXY. FOMC comes out on Wednesday. Please trade with proper risk management. We may see more strength in the dollar moving forward into the week during these news releases. And PPI comes out on Wednesday too. Please trade with caution, trade with what you're willing to lose, right? Apply proper risk management and make massive moves in the market. Lekon, what are you seeing in synthetics markets today?
Oh, thank you very much, Cynthia, and good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Market Corner brought to you by the Battlefield Trading Team. This morning for synthetic, the weekend has been a bit quiet for synthetic so far, and this morning is going to be a very quick one because I have some few assets that I'm looking out for on synthetic assets like the 75, the 30, 1S, and 75 1S. So let's quickly start with 75 1S from this 30. 1S from the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame of this 31S, we've seen how that price has traded all the way to the upside. However, we've seen some level of market structure shift. First, at around this point here, we've seen some level of market structure shift around this point here for the first time. And at the same time, we've seen how that price has traded below this level here again for the second time. And then we are expecting this retracement to come all the way and take out this liquidity point, then begin to sell further to the downside. But on the 4-hour time frame, it becomes much more visible and clear on the 4-hour time frame. If you agree with me that we have our shoulder level around this point. So this last swing to the upside was our liquidity sweep And as price took out liquidity around that level, we saw the pullback. It created another liquidity that price is attempting to go and take out now. And that is why we are seeing this buy move all the way. So we are expecting that price should take out this liquidity level and trade into our shoulder level that we have marked out here. But with the order block that we have at the top there, should keep price and react to price further to the downside. All right, so that is that for this 31S, and all we are willing to risk on this particular trade is very simple. It's just we want to do 1:5 or 1:4. So that is what we are looking out for to see price do that. However, if you go to your lower time frame on the 15 minutes, you are going to discover we are in a very strong uptrend. So if you are not the patient type who is going to wait for the 4-hour setup, then you may check your lower time frame to see if you see any opportunity, but make sure you are in line with the trend. If you see any buy opportunity, to follow the trend all the way to this liquidity level to take out this liquidity, then you can take it at your own risk. All right, but here at value flow trading, we are looking out to see that price take out this liquidity point, then we begin to follow through all the way to the downside again. All right, so that is for the 4-hour time frame. From there, let's quickly take a look at the 75-1S, what is going on the 75-1S. Now, you would agree with me on the daily time frame of the 75-1S. We've been in this strong consolidation phase. However, if you come to the 4-hour, you are going to see some level of market structure shift to the upside. How that price already traded above this level. So we expect a continuation to the upside, particularly some reaction around this point. So that is why when we come to our lower time frame on 15 minutes, you are going to see on the 15 minutes, we are expecting after this long consolidation, we saw the breakout and price came all the way to come and test that level. This is a very strong support level, but I'm still of the opinion that there's high probability we see price take out this liquidity here. However, if it does not, until we see a bullish engulfing candle, which is giving us a specification that buy move is about to take place, then that's when we are going to execute. All this happening right now is just a trap. All right, so until we see that happen, but before we see that happen, I want to see this low to be taken out, this low here to be taken out, then price trading to this zone, and we follow through all the way up. And where are we targeting? We are targeting this diagonal liquidity at the top here. All right, so that is for this 75-1S index. And lastly, let's quickly take a look at the 75 itself. So if you look at this 75 on the 24-hour, which is the daily time frame, we know the overall trend has been a sell all the way to the downside, and I'm still of the opinion that since we've not seen a market sort of shift on the 24-hour, it's still very much bearish. And if you look at it even from the 4-hour time frame too, we are still very much bearish, but we have seen some level of market sort of shift on the 4-hour time frame. So the 4-hour time frame, we see how that we see the buy trend forming, and we now discover there is another shift again in the market trend, which is this first break in market structure, and we've seen another one after this was broken. We see price create another lower low again and another lower low. So that is giving us a very clear signal that price is expected to come and take out this level, and that is what price has done. And we expect this top to be a high that should be protected. Price shouldn't trade above this high. And as you can see, price really did not get there, did not trade above it. So let's go to our lower time frame to go and check the entry, because we are seeing some sell momentum already forming in the market. So my opinion is that looking at the current and the recent time the current price action, we are going to agree with me that we already have a market structure shift at this particular zone here. And then that is why I'm of the opinion, because we already have a sweep of liquidity around this zone 2 for the 75, right? So I'm of the opinion that since we already have market structure shift, what I'm expecting to see is price retracing a little bit more into this other block, which coincides with the shoulder level. Then when we see our entry signature bearish engulfing for itself, we can begin to follow through to the downside, right? So that is what I'm seeing for this 75 index this morning. So when we begin to short from this particular point here, our entry, this has been our entry when price taps into this order block with our stop loss just a bit above this zone, then we are expecting to trade all the way into this order block here. The reason why we are targeting this level is, yes, price can still sell further down because that is the direction of the trend. We are in a bearish market. We are selling all the way to the downside. However, you may just have two positions where you close one at this particular point here, because we already see how that this low here swept liquidity and we already have a break of market structure somewhere here. So this is just more like a pullback. But the second position, we are riding it all the way to the downside on the for our time frame. So this is it for V75, V75 1S, and also V31S. Just as Cynthia said, trade cautiously and use your proper risk management strategy. So right about now, we'll be going into the analysis of the indices to hear from Demola what's going on in the indices market. Just the way we've seen opportunities here, as we all know, it definitely would give us some updates on what is going on in the indices market. All right, good morning, Demola. What's going on in the indices market this morning?
It's really interesting. Good morning, everyone. All right, the indices market, as you all know, and you agree with me, has been quite in a range, right? Because of the ongoing war we have. So it's been really interesting. Nothing much, we just ranging, and then technically bearish, if you'd ask me. The market's just good to stay either on the sideline or you want to take whatever the market gives you. There's no point swinging now. If you are swinging now, probably you have to be awake monitoring it, which is not really the best. All right, so what do we have on the daily time frame? Come in. Okay, on the daily time frame, daily time frame, we have this structure point, this area of interest here, another block, which usually would expect that the market is going to react from. But then seeing the current situation in the market, price can as well react a little bit from here to the upside and then just continue in its initial direction, which is the bearish pattern, or the selling off pattern that we've been seeing from last week or even beginning of the month. All right, on the 4-hour time frame, what do we have? We saw an attempt to go long there. I did myself, but then quickly price consumed all this bullish momentum we have, right? We are back exactly to the base, and from what we have here, it looks as though it's going to continue till we have a proper shift, right? Shift in structure, shift in fundamental and sentiment in the market. We will need this war to be done with. There should be some form of compromise, serious one. Then you can begin to look at the market, right? So what do we have this morning? We have an intraday play here, which can so happen that price will react from it. Looking for the right tool. Okay, this is an order block. Just below it, the fair value gap. So price can as well tap into this and then dig even further to the downside. We have like a liquidity zone here. But then, is it worth the trade for us? Will it give us something really solid? I really don't know. Okay, this one is 2. This is 1:2, really. This one is 1.9, not really solid, but then 1:2-ish might be a good trade. Let me look at this previous zone. Okay, so when we look back, these levels, liquidity zone, this, and finally this. Okay, so these are levels that you want to check. Paraventure price, you want to dig into it, but the main one is this equal lows. Yeah, the price we want to clear off, right? So, and then probably refining this zone even further. Okay, looking at it now, price has tested it. Price tested it already, so we can as well just delete it. Price tested this already on the 30-minute time frame. You can see it breaks to the downside and then price tapped into the other block for to the downside. All right, on 15-minute time frame, also nothing really clear. 5 minutes, let's see if we would have something. Okay, yeah, so something like this would as well now give us that trade that we're looking for. It's a good RR. And then, yeah, still the equal lows. Okay, this is what's giving the shot. All right, trial 1:10. Okay, we have a fair value gap. So some people might want to take the trade from the fair value gap. It's fine. Other ones might want to take it from the other block. It's also fine. From the other block, we have a 1:10R. From the fair value gap, we have a 1:6 or 1:7R. It's still a fair deal if you'd ask me. All right, whichever you take the trade from, it's still good, right? 1:10, 1:7. So it's a matter of what are you looking for in the market? So we have this one today for a sell. Everything aligns. You can see the flow of the market. Other flow is in our favor. We have equal lows here ready to be taken out by liquidity, and then everything looks good. Looks good. All right, let's move to the next one, which is US 100. This one is in a range. Dire time frame analysis, you can see clearly. We've not left where we started from since this is when? Since November 2025, we have been in this range. Went as high as January 28, 2026, went towards this high. That was when I was speculating that if we see a breakout, it will be a very bullish movement to the upside, like a new high being created. But alas, we didn't see anything of such. Market sold, and then now we are now in a range, right? This range that's refused to give us a clear-cut direction, which by itself is not the market's fault. We have instability currently in the market. So I also expect that this would reflect the current situation, which is why we're having this range. On the daily time frame, there's nothing except if we're waiting for a breakout to happen, then we'll now take our shot. That should be our bias. On the 4-hour time frame, the same thing also, right? It's best to just, stay out. Look at what we have on the daily. This is what we have. While on US 30, you can see the difference. Yeah, bearish. This is a clear bearish trend, right? On US 100, it's a range. On S&P 500, it's a range, right? Although this is also there's a breakout here already, right? The range started from this zone and then we had a breakout to the downside. So this is more likely to even continue the sell-off, unlike US 100. So on NASDAQ, on 4-hour time frame, this is what we have. Market still in the range. I'll just quickly run through this so that we can take our analysis from commodity. Okay, we have also similar setup here. A sweep of this level, a fair value gap, and then by the time we dig into the 15-minute time frame, 5-minute time frame, do we have a setup? Okay, price tested the setup. The only zone here that has not been tested is this one, right? So we can take our sales from here, and then where are we going to? We are going to this zone. This is the first exit zone for us, right? The first exit zone. Take a sale from here, and then we exit here. On S&P 500, S&P 500 on daily time frame, as you can see, the market is also what? Very, very much bearish. On the 4-hour time frame, what do we see? We can see clearly here that we are very bearish. We are very bearish. Although structure has not shifted. No? Okay. We have this lower low, which has not been cleared yet. But then we can see series of lower lows that has been previously cleared, signifying that we are ultimately what? Bearish, right? On the 1-hour time frame, what do we have? Okay, on the 1-hour time frame, we have this, which is looking really significant. And 30 minutes, let's see. The same setup across the board has been tested also. 10 minutes. What do we have there? 5 minutes. Okay, we have this clear cut zone. This here. So I want to look out for sales from this, and then take it to this. Is 1:4 trade, right? 1:4 trade. Okay, I'm more certain on the one on US30. I'll be going with that, but then nonetheless, I want to see the reaction of price when it gets into this zone. With that, I can now, give more, allocate more capital to the different pairs, right? So you have the same setup across US30, NAS 100, and also S&P 500, right? Depending on how price reacts at this, area of interest, right? That will determine how much capital I'm going to allocate to each of the trade play we have. All right, that's pretty much it. The markups will be sent to the group, and ensure you stay on the market color group. Over to you, Abigail. What are we seeing on the commodity market this morning? Anything special?
Of course. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Demola, for that very detailed analysis. So let us now look at what the commodity currency market has in store for us today, starting off with a look at AUD/USD on the 4-hour time frame. Now, on the 4-hour time frame, AUD/USD is still predominantly to the upside. You see, those of us who have joined these sessions regularly will understand what this sunshine indicator means. So price has sold from this level all the way since we saw the sunshine, which we expected, by the way. However, it has not printed a new sunshine on the downside. This just basically indicates profit taking. So bearing that in mind, I'm expecting that AUD/USD is going to give us a temporal buy into these possible points of interest on the 1-hour time frame. So these POIs are now 0.70359, 0.70712, and 0.70959. I'm calling them out because I know not all of us would have these indicators installed on our platform. So for those of you who are using naked charts, price action, take note of the price points for when price eventually returns into these zones. So these are my 1-hour points of interest. I'm basically saying that I want to see AUD/USD temporarily buy, trade into this zone, hit resistance or possible resistance and sell, or violate it, trade into the next zone, hit possible resistance, and continue to sell till a new sunshine is printed on the 4-hour time frame. However, if these zones get violated to the upside, then it's possible to see that H4 predominant structure is going to be continued. But all things being equal, we should see price to this and then print a new sunshine first to know that the sell has been worn out before the buy in line with the overall structure is resumed. So looking at these levels, let's go to the 5-minute time frame now. On the 5-minute time frame, you see that I've mapped out certain POIs, which would basically serve as support and resistance levels. This is a previous support that could act as current resistance, another support that could hold, and another level here. So let me get the specific price points once again. So POI 1 on the 5-minute time frame of AUD/USD is 0.70716. It happens to have a confluence with the 1 hour time frame that we marked, which is right here. If you remember, this is the line from the H1 zone. And then our second point of interest for the 5-minute time frame is 0.70904. The third one is 0.71577, and the final one here is 0.69793. So looking at these zones, I'm seeing AUD/USD buying. We're going to buy in here. If this zone is going to hold, we may see rejections. If it's not going to hold, it will be violated, and AUD/USD is going to buy into this one. So my trade for this session, provided all my characteristic or signature patterns are met, is a temporal buy. Give me this day my daily bread, a few pips, take out profits, and then wait for price to give me certain signature patterns that will confirm if this sell is going to hold. That's the sell we're seeing on the H1 time frame. Are you going to continue to sell? Because if you look in here, you see that price already broke structure. Price broke structure to the downside. So this could be temporal, hits into this level and continue to sell till another structural point is violated that will now make us know that, okay, maybe AUD/USD is changing pattern and its sell is soon to resume. So having that in mind, this is a zone you want to pay attention to. Pay attention to this level point on H4. When this level gets broken through, then I'll know for sure that AUD/USD is going to start to sell in full force. But for now, predominant move is buy, or a buy to sell. And if these zones get violated, then the buy is back in full force. Moving into the next asset class, which is NZD/USD on the H4 time frame as well, you see that for this asset class, yes, predominant structure, major structure is still upward. However, minor structures has been consecutively breaking lower and lower. Now, if you know AUD/USD and NZD/USD, you know that they tend to move similarly sometimes. Now, if it's already breaking structures to the downside, it makes me believe that AUD/USD may just trade into those resistance levels and start to sell. We're going to watch for that and also watch out for fundamentals, of course, because they play a big role in how this happens here. So NZD/USD H4 structure, downtrend break of structure is downward, momentum is downward. The trend is somewhere in the middle. And this is as there's a new sunshine printed on the downside. So new sunshine printed downward is giving me the idea that we're going to see more buys on NZD/USD as well. And where are they going to buy into? A temporal buy to sell if these minor structures continue to hold. So if they hold, we're looking at 0.58817, 0.59185, or 0.59713. These are now the three major POIs that I've marked out on H1. I am looking to temporarily buy NZD/USD into the zones, get confirmations, take profits, get confirmations that this resistance level will hold and continue to sell in line with our minor structures. But if there is no confirmation, it's only a sign that they are going to get violated, continue to buy, and we just need to look for more confirmations to start to buy from. I've mentioned confirmations a few times. It is very important you know that. And for those of you who are totally new to trading, you don't know what confirmations mean, it is the right time to sign up for our Forex Bootcamp course. In that course, we cover all the strategies that my colleagues have already used to look at this market today, including this indicator-based strategy. Then you can now see the one that fits your personality, learn how we all agree to take certain decisions in the market and, make some cool money from the Forex market. Now, on the 5-minute time frame of NZD/USD, these are now the zones I've marked out, support and resistance levels. POI 1 is now 0.58023, point of interest 2, 0.58614, point of interest 3, 0.58926, and point of interest 4, 0.59137. These are now, the major levels that I've marked out on the 5-minute time frame. So NZD/USD is going to buy this. I'm very confident in. It's already forming the signature patterns we want to see. Currently in a range though. But when I see a break and a retest on NZD/USD, I'm going to be buying from where price currently is, and my take profits will be all the way in this trend line. So NZD/USD is going to be giving us about 50 pips first for this move. Our stop loss is going to be right under here, under this level. So it's a 1:1.2 thereabouts kind of trade. So it is going to be best for stacking positions for those of us who are, very used to this market. If you're new, you don't want to be stacking, just take a position and see how it plays out. So yes, this is my bias on NZD/USD, a temporal buy, and buy into this zone. Provided my confirmations are met, I'm going to start selling from these levels. And if they are not met, they get violated, then NZD/USD major structure buy is back in full force. And then finally, for USD CAD on the H4 time frame, what do I see? So predominantly, this guy has been breaking downward. You see where I marked out the zone. This is a key resistance level that if USD CAD is able to break through, then we may be seeing more buys printed. But following what it is currently showing us, is sunshine has been printed here. Predominant move is downward, sunshine on the top, so sales are what we're expecting. For the 1 hour time frame, same thing. You see that there's room for USD CAD to trade below. Where are now my points of interest? Point of interest one is 1.366447. Point of interest two is 1.36206. Yeah. So I'm looking at USD CAD selling into these levels. On the M5 time frame, my support and resistance levels have also been marked out, as you can see. So M5 POI is now 1.37416. Second POI is 1.36403. See, the second POI has about 3 confluences around this one: the trend indicator, the 5 minutes resistance level, and the 1 hour key level that we marked out. So USD CAD is going to sell in here. We're going to see a tempo buy. This is what I'm expecting. Is that going to buy in here or come back hit this before we now see it give us that sell into the zone? And this is where I'm taking my profit for USD CAD. So make sure you keep your eye out specifically for USD CAD and NZUSD. They have more clearer patterns, and then AUD also give us a room, or rather room, for about 40 to 50 pips move here. So this is now been printed. These are now my points of interest that I'm watching out for, and we're going to see how they play out moving into the week. And as more volatility or more, a volume come into the markets, this is just the start of the week. So yes, let's watch out for all of that. I truly wish all of us a very profitable trading week. And we're going to be reconvening. When we'll see a live session, a live opportunity presents itself, we're going to be trading live with you guys. So if you don't have Market Color Group pinned on Telegram, make sure you do, so you don't miss out on any updates. All right. And we are now in the city of Abuja. So if you've been wanting to enroll for our classes physically, but you didn't want to come to our old office down in Kaduna, this is the right time. Just send us a DM and we'll get you signed up. With that being said, thank you so much for joining. See you next time. Cheers and God bless.